What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, not a market watch today. So, Amazing Offenders is finally out, and the prices basically did what we all expected them to do, drop in value. Amazing Offenders is not an amazing set, by all means. It's not even a good set. It's just a meh set. In this video, we're going to be going on Amazing Offenders and a bunch of cards I think you should be looking at. Cards that are going up in value, cards that are going down in value. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below what is your favorite card right now. What is your card that nobody's really even looking at right now? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to check out my Twitch TV, YuGiOh YGOPaisano. We might be doing some remote dueling. I'm really wanting to get back to doing that. It's been a mess. Everything's been all over the place, but I think we're going to be going back to doing some remote dueling, and if you want to check that out, once again, make sure to check me out on Twitch, hit that follow button, and when I'm live, come over and hang out, say hi, and let's see how good Telements is. Spoiler alert, the deck's insane. Alright, so look at our Amazing Defenders 1-for-1, which debuted, pre-released, at roughly around $100, is at $61. $61 for a 1-for-1. Listen, don't get me wrong, this card's a great card. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to want to go ahead and grab one of these, because it's limited, but there's no reason to get this right now. It's still 61. The market price says 77. It's still going to be going down in value. Why rush in and grab this card? It doesn't make any sense. The card price, one for the CR, will continue to decline, and maybe then we'll go and talk about picking up just one. You only need one. Other cards, as you can see, is the two archetypes, well, three archetypes, is the Makankos, is the Pearlies, as well as, where's my boys, the Rescue Ace. Now, me personally, I'm a big fan of Rescue Ace. I actually want to play this deck, but the prices keep going down. I'm going to be waiting patiently until the prices do go down, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab some. God bless this little kid at my locus, by the way, who knew I liked Rescue Aces, and said, hey, listen, I cracked the box, I had extra cards, hey, you can have them. Seriously, special shout out to this little kid on my locals. You know who you are. You, right there. You know you are. Seriously, huge thank you, shout out to you. I always do appreciate that. But for the rest of the Rescue Ace cards, I'm going to be waiting, because I do see the cards do going down in value until they start doing something in the game. And when they do, well, it might be too late for everybody. It kind of feels like, I'm not trying to compare it 1-for-1 on this, but it kind of feels like Ruinix. When Ruinix first came out, no one cared about them. The value like tanked, and then they started winning, and then people was like, wait a minute, and then obviously the value's like spiked high. That can happen with some of these cards. It can happen with Pearlies. It can happen with Rescue Aces, and of course, it can happen with Makankos. My pick is Rescue Ace, but we have to continue seeing how it does in the game. Once again, Amazing Offenders, I wouldn't recommend you getting a box of this. If your OTS is handing this out, price support, cool, but don't go too crazy on it. Buy the singles, snipe what you need. If you want to grab it now, there's a good chance a lot of this will go down in value, so keep an eye for that. Alright, Blackwing Armor Master. I'm always watching Blackwing cards. I'm a huge Blackwing fanboy, I'll be honest, but looking at Blackwing Armor Master, there's a bit of an issue here. Blackwing Armor Master was rough for the Starlight Rare. It was roughly around $80 to $90. In fact, it's been getting bought out. You can see over here the current price is $123. The value in the past month has went from, once again, you can see over here 89 to going up in value, and it's currently at $121 was the last sale done 2 days ago. Before that, $100 and $115 respectively. What's going on here? No, seriously, like, what's happening here? Don't get me wrong, I think Blackwing Armor Master Starlight Rare looks cool. I'm more a fan of First Edition Ultimate Rare because it's a lot harder to get. But what is happening? Now, it could be two reasons. One, there could be a Blackwing deck that's doing something in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I have no idea. Two, and I think this might be more likely the situation, the Starlight Rares and Beastial Crystal Revenge are slowly going away. With that said, we're seeing a lot of people just go in and grab the final picks, while it's still available for you to buy in store, while you can still find sealed Beastial Crystal Revenge. In fact, I would argue if that is to be the case, then yeah, sure, you can look at the Starlight Rares, like Access Code Talker, which used to be $500, now it's $575, Super Poly is going to $185, you know, once again, I would still highly recommend you go in and snipe some of these cards, like Chaos Space, Selene, F-Zero, which is a great card, Borlo Savage Dragon if you don't have one, maybe even consider Clockwork Knight. Some of these cards right here are not going to stay the same. They will increase in value. I highly recommend you check out some of these Secret Rares as Battle Legends, Crystal Revenge, if you don't currently own the other version of the card. Very, very highly recommend that. Then we have Telements Rook Close. I've been watching this card a lot because I want to get for my own set, for my own deck. The current value of this card is roughly around $200 for a while. but it's kind of changed. I mean, it's going down. Look at the staircase pattern. This is telling you of a card that's not stabilizing in value at all. And this is all done within the past month. Look at the latest sales. You can see over here, $210. A couple of days ago, $200 again, and then $185. The card's trying to fight to stay around $200 in value, and it's losing that. There's currently a listing over here for $185. After that, it does go to $195, but once again, is Rook Close going to win that fight? We don't know. Now, myself personally, like I said earlier, I'm going to go ahead and grab a Rook Close eventually, but you don't want to grab something in this situation. Yes, I could save 15 bucks buying right now if it went to 200 and beyond, but that's predicting the fact that this card price will stabilize at $200. I don't know. It doesn't look like in the past month, had you bought early this month, you'd be paying $266. So is it worth getting it right now? As much as badly as I don't want this card, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. All right. Kashira Unicorn has been rising. This card in the past 3 months went from like $9, $7. You can see over here. The current value of this card is roughly around $24. Now, here's the question. Do you buy 2 or do you buy 3? Pure Kashira's 3. Kashira's one on a deck, probably 2. Kashira Unicorn is a great card, don't get me wrong, but is it worth it? Well, of course it is. But how many do you need to get if you're looking to play Kashira T-Elements or Pure Kashiras? Really don't know. I'm seeing a lot of different builds, and I mean a lot of different builds. And I've seen some builds run 1 unicorn, no unicorn, 2 unicorn, 3 unicorn. YuGiOh plays an Oshi, just, I mean, they're all over the place on this card. With that said, Kashira Unicorn, I think, is an insanely good card, and the current value, $24, I guarantee you, with the release of Photon Hypernova, will increase in value, so keep an eye out for this card. Then we have Beastial Worm. Man, this card went from, like, nothing, spiked as high as 17, then shot down back to 13, and then now the current value of the card is around 11, and then 13 again. What's going on with Beastial Worm? I thought Magnum was the card fucking us in the ass. Now we have Worm doing it. Calm it down, Konami. Like, breathe. I'm thinking we need an OTS reprint of this. That'd be really cool as comments, or maybe even super rares. We need some way to access these Beastial cards. They're basically DD Crow, but if DD Crow was just like went to the gym every day. Like, these cards are great and they're broken. And unfortunately, there's no balance hit which is going to stop YuGiOh players from playing Beastials and running all the way back to DD Crow. In my opinion, the days of DD Crow are done because we have Beastials which now exist, and they definitely exist in a big way. Rather than Konami just going, okay, in this set, we'll release Worm, in the next set, we'll do Magnamut, and then Saranir, or whatever you do it. Konami just kind of like threw up, and then Beastals came out, and they looked at you and they're like, did you sell your DD Crows, by the way? That's literally what they did. Yeah, I don't know what to say to you other than the fact that if you don't have these cards, you're gonna have to pay top dollar. These cards are insane. Don't play DD Crow. It's almost, it does nothing compared to Beastials. But V, DD Crow gets rid of any card, Beastials gets rid of Dark and Light monsters. YuGiOh is a game of Dark and Light monsters. Throwing it out there. Okay. Primordial Plan Parallino has been tanking. Looking over the past 3 months, you can see it hold a price of $81. You go over here and see people buying it for as low as $37 to $35. Actually, $33. In the past month, well, it's not been good if you've been holding this card, trying to sell it back to make some kind of money. Primordial Plan Parallino has been going down in value. I mean, badly. Looking over here at TCG Player, Unlimited is over around 36. You're like, yeah, that's why V. It got unlimited printing. No, we just got a reprinting. That's the only reason. More was available, so the value went down. You can look as far as the next listing, which shows the first edition version being $36.33. 30 cents more for that little first edition stamp. Why? Once again, more of these were dumped onto the market. Players that want to access this card now have access to this card at a cheaper rate. Hopefully we see more reprints. You're going to need this card, unfortunately. Or if Konami was to hit this card like they did in OCG. And if they do that, well, once again, OCG YuGiOh players are like, yeah, we don't care. Like, we're fine with all this. Like, I love how Konami decided, like, literally shotgun the Telement archetype, and then Oshi did like, oh no, Konami, you forgot. This is too broken. We're still gonna play this, and then Konami's like, what the hell? Okay, we'll give you Kashiras. Yeah, fight Telements, and then Oshi YuGiOh players are like, oh no, we'll just use that too now. Now we have another engine. It must suck to be in the Oshi right now, to play Telements as long as they've been played. Finally, only they get shotgun for them still to be good. And here at TCG, well, it's going to happen to us, in my opinion. I don't think there's nothing that Konami can hit other than the boss monsters of Telements. And even if you hit the boss monsters of Telements, that engine of fusing from the graveyard by milling is still really good. Konami, you kind of messed up, and I would argue, once again, I've been playing this game since it came out. The only time I've seen a blunder on this scale, and I would love to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, a blunder on a scale has been the Dragon Rules, where we saw Dragon Rules come out and we're like, there's no fucking way they're gonna get. How are they gonna slow this down? They can't put the brakes on this. Every time they did advance the Dragon Rules only got better. You limit the options, you just made the deck list tighter. Looking at tier limits, there are so many different builds, and those builds can range in a difference between 1 and like 8 cards that wouldn't change the entire build of tier limits. But you would still call them tier limits Shizus because the access to these cards are so all over the place, you really can't call it anything else. And I do think this blunder of releasing tier limits into the game, I think it makes Dragon Rules look like a joke. I think this is a new blunder. This is the new Dragon Rules. So newer Yu-Gi-Oh players, welcome to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. Number 1. Number 2, you don't need to worry about Dragon Rules. This is worse than Dragon Rulers. But it's fun. I like Dragon Rulers, which, I don't know, I didn't really have much fun with Dragon Rulers. I do like tier limits. I do like watching mirror matches. I do like watching how things are timed. This format will make a good player. And I would argue the next bans more than likely would still make a player a good player. Learn and really watch these cards. I really think it'll help you out a lot. Okay. Abuletus, Abyss Dragon, Starlight Rare has all over the place. One as high as 145. Then went as low as $100, and recently people are buying it from $135 to $140. This Starlight Rare currently right now on TCG Players $140. Why? I don't know. Dragon monsters. Comment down below. All right. Then we have Elemental Hero Stratus. Hero players, wake up! This is for you. Elemental Hero Stratus Starlight Rare out of Burst of Destiny has been doing some wild things. With its initial price 3 months ago, roughly around $215, once again, initial stabilized price, to its current price, which has been down around $200, the value of this card actually is going roughly around $219. For a Starlight Rare, for a card to go $200 to $219 isn't as big of a deal until you realize the fact that, well, a couple of days ago, people were buying it at $200. And then 5 days before that, $220, and then $200. What's going on with Elemental Hero Stratus Starlight Rare? Really nothing. The fact that the card is hovering between that price point, $200 to $220. Now, when you look at Ultimate Rare Elemental Hero Stratus on OTS 1 Pack 9, this value has dropped alongside the next with the Starlight Rare. So the Starlight Rare didn't go insanely high because we had Ultimate Rare, which, by the way, came out on OTS 1 Pack 9. Really hard to find. The current value of this card being roughly around $146 doesn't merit its price point currently right now. In fact, recently it's sold for $142, $129. I mean, it's been all over the place. But if you're looking at it right now, it's roughly around $130 to $134. I think both Shrouds are great. I always ask everybody in my videos which one's better, the Ultimate Rare or the Starlight Rare. Me, if I had to choose between the Ultimate Rare and the Starlight Rare, I always go to Ultimate Rare if it's good enough. Konami does release some Ultimate Rares that kind of cheeks, but the Ultimate Rare Shrouds looks really nice. With that said, if you're a hero player and you only own one of these, you don't own the other of these, bro, it just takes that one hero player that has a place of each to make fun of you. And there's nothing you can do. There's no copium you're adding in there. If someone walks in with double Shroud, Starlight Rare, and Ultimate Rare, just bow before the better hero player. So I'm trying, like, I'm sorry, like, no, but but I like this. I have an Elemental Hero, a mug. Bro, you're not on this kid's level. I don't know any of these. I want to really get my playset of each of these eventually. But before I do, once again, I think that normally I have my own field centers, but before I talk about my own, I want to say the Elemental Hero Shroud's field center is probably one of the hardest ones to get. Current value right now is roughly around $95. On eBay, it's well over $100, and it is selling $95. At one point, it sold for $68. I remember this card was stabilizing when it first debuted for $75. How do you get one of these cards? It's so easy. You get a time machine, because these cards only came out in the Yu-Gi-Oh UDS events. Those events are no longer, they're pre-COVID, by the way. There are no longer any more Elemental Hero Shrouds Field Center tokens. The ones that are out there for the Field Centers are out there. Now, I like Konami's cheap, disgusting, pathetic, cardboard, brokey, poor people Field Centers. This one's made of a plastic. Now, I will say I own 2 of these, and I use what I have when sealed still. The plastic doesn't really, the field center itself isn't made on really good material still. If you use it a lot, like I use mine, it will fade. So I just want to throw it out there. So once again, if you are a hero player, you need to grab one of these. In fact, not only one of these, but I think you should go ahead and go to my website, YuGiOh YGOPaisano.com, and get this amazing looking Elemental Hero Stratos field center that I have. This card's ready for $20. All these field centers come out to you shipped with tracking. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. Once again, YuGiOhPaisano.com. I have a bunch of Kashiras. I have individual Ghost Girl field centers or tokens, depending on how you want to use it. And of course, I have a Ghost Sister Collection set available with the option to buy a Ghost Mourner as well as an add-on to this collection. These are absolutely gorgeous field centers. I've been selling them Non-stop all weekend. I sold a ton already. So make sure to go ahead and do this website while it's still available, YuGiOh YGOPaisano.com. Once again, everything's roughly around 20 bucks. If you spend over 25, it's free shipping, so keep an eye out for that. These are absolutely gorgeous, and I think you might want to check them out because they're good. All right, Lina the Light Charmer Lustrous. This card, Starlight Rare, is it on sale? I mean, TCG Player says you'll sell it to you for $824. Direct. Look at the current value. Once again, the past month, it was $764. Looking over the card right now, it's $662. Is this worth it? I don't know. I know, once again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game of light and dark monsters. So obviously the best charmers for links is going to be the light and dark charmer. But Lina kind of debuted roughly around some dumb numbers. I mean, you look back 3 months ago, it came out and spiked $765. But it's starting to calm down. In fact, the price went low over here, $738. You can see over here. Even in the past month, it's been falling over and over again. The price actually cannot keep up with the current value of the card, which is roughly around $662. So we know, look at this chart, if we was to do like another bit of a line in this chart, it would spike down again. So with that said, is Lina the Light Charmer Lustrous a great starter to pick up? Yes. Is it a good card to pick up right now? Hell no. Don't get this card right now. But keep an eye on this card. I would argue the best charmers right now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is obviously Dark number 1. Number 2 is not Lina, it's also the Earth Charmer, which we'll see play with the release of Photon Hypernova. And 3, Lina. In fact, I would say Lina and Dark would be the charmers you want to grab. That's going to see more play as the future of this game progresses, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game of light and dark monsters featuring other attributes. Then we have Pot of Prosperity Starlight Rare. Now, this card was insane. I mean, you can see it over here being roughly around $632. You see a bunch of sales. The last one being last month on the 3rd, which is insane for $633. The current value of the card is roughly around $552 for a Starlight Rare Pot of Prosperity. Why is that, you might ask? Well, simple. Pot of Prosperity is a phenomenal card, but the only deck that uses it right now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Flunderies. In fact, I do think with the release of Kashiras, if a pure Kashira player is playing their deck that's pure Kashiras, they're going to want to go ahead and grab Pot of Prosperity Starlight Rare, or at least a Pot of Prosperity in general. I think that that card works really good for pure Kashiras, but here's the question. Is pure Kashiras going to be the best deck? Hell no. We have Telements full power, baby. I would argue maybe even Kashiras, if you play nicely, we might take a Kashira Telement, but basically everything else is an option. Kashiras don't have much room to work around. I mean, Telements don't have much room to work around in their deck, and the balance hasn't hurt us yet, so we're kind of working on all cylinders here with Telements. I do think that after a balance, Prosperity might go up in value if we see Kashiras, pure Kashiras, see more meta relevance, as well as Flunderies. Another warning to everybody watching my videos, get your Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. You don't need to get Ultimate Rare, but you need to get this card. This card's seeing a lot of play in the OCG, and more than likely will continue to see play here in the TCG. I would argue if you're playing Kashiras, this is your go-to hand shot. You're playing Kashiras. I know you're gonna say, but V, I get to bash extra monster face down. Why want Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries? Easy. This card is just more ways of banishing cards on your opponent's side of the extra deck. That's what you want. You want to bend over your opponent's extra deck, get rid of all their resources, and have them playing a dank version. And you're still playing for Kashira's full power. So, I highly recommend you go ahead and grab it. Now, if you want an Ultimate OTS Tournament Pack 21, no big deal. The value's been going down up until this past month where the value had a quick spike. The current lowest value is roughly around $30, but you can see players buying as well as, the past couple of days for $40, $45, and $37. And if you go over here, you can see it being roughly around $37 with shipping, $38 for an Ultimate Rare Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. I do think this card value will continue to drop, and the reason why is because OTS Tournament Pack 20 is relatively new. Until Yu-Gi-Oh! Players realize, wait a minute, I need these. And I do think that would happen after the balance. We might see this card go up in value. Even then, it won't happen immediately. You know the greatest part about doing these Yu-Gi-Oh! Market watches is the fact that we could go back and look at cards that have since, it used to be dirt, and have since and it went insanely high in value. Manchester Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer, at one point in this game, used to be about $2.50. I remember doing a market watch after buying my playset, turning to you and saying, you should probably grab this card. It's kind of dirt right now. The value of this card has went insane. You can see how TCG Players showing it be around 7. It was more than a year ago we did that market watch, but it's cool to see certain cards, like this one, go up high in value. Unlimited's roughly around $20, and if you want a first edition version, it starts roughly around $21. Now, yes, Pendulums are starting to get more steam. They're not there yet, but they are getting more steam. They are a meta contender. I think Pendulums would be really good had a card like Dark Ruler No More never existed. I think that's when we see more Pendulums. In fact, we see more combo. The reason why Pendulums have a ceiling is because Dark Ruler No More exists. Because basically Pendulums are a deck that throws everything up to the board. They're a very aggressive deck. Well, technically the game mechanic, but we just call it whatever. They throw everything up to the board, look at you and say, do you have the answer? And with cards like Dark Ruler No More, a lot of times you just go, yeah, here you go. Put down board, and then you just break their board and they lose. I would love to see a more control pendulum build or decks. I think those could be the better decks moving forward in the future. I think control definitely is something that I haven't really seen how much play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because control can be a little bit controversial. I mean, control players were playing Mystic Mind not long ago. Boring. No talent, no skill. I'm throwing it out there. I want to see control players play more low-to-the-ground decks, but that requires skill. Which, I mean, you're a combo player, you think, oh, no, they don't have skill, they're control. If you're a mid-range player, you're taking a little bit of both, basically, which is cool, but I would love to see control come back into the game again. We don't really have a control deck. We just don't. And in a weird way, that's fine. Mystic Mind made a lot of regular decks, mid-range decks, control decks, and that card's a bag of crap, so I'm glad. Still annoying nonetheless. And I would love to see something. And I would love to see one out of Pendulums. Until then, Master the Paladin is a good sell right now. I don't think it's really good to hold. Advanced Arc was another card we talked about. Once again, I'm doing member berries over here. But this card right now is for around $12. This card at one point in the game was like dirt. It was like $2. Yeah, Advanced Arc, Return of the Duelist, original print. Yes, it has a bunch of reprints. A ton of reprints, actually. But the secret original print out of Return of the Duelist has a lot of money because value. Then we're going to go ahead and go over to Chaos Hunter. So, this is the hand trap, which I think every Yu-Gi-Oh player needs to grab right now, like, immediately. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, yes, Chaos Hunter has had some, like, tech choice in the past, where the price has spiked over to $75, and then has went back down to its current price right now, which is roughly around $30. Looking over here in the past sales, people have been buying it for $19, $17. Maybe that's unlimited. I don't look at unlimited when I look at a card like this. This is the cream of the crop. It's currently $30. This is a hand trap. When your opponent special summons a monster, you can discard one card, special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent can't remove cards from the game. That is dumb. This card is probably one of the best cards to stop Kashiras. If you're worried about Kashiras. Once again, if you're playing Telements, you don't really worry about it. But if you want to, if there's a kid at your locals who's like, yay, Kashiras, I've been playing since that when Kashira card came out. I don't know if they had a card come out. You want to like just go, yeah, you're wrong. And he goes, no, but you're wrong. And you just play this card and just drop it on his face and go, yeah, no, seriously, like, read this card. You don't, like, good game. Chaos Hunter is insanely good against Kashiras, and I do see this card seeing a lot more play in the future. Don't worry about it if you don't want to spend a crazy high amount of money. It does have a bunch of reprints. You might already have it if you bought Structure Deck Sacred Beast, Master of Pendulums. Magnificent Mavens is actually an ultra rare, so that's pretty cool. So you might already have the card already, you don't even know it, but this is a card you want to go ahead and have a playset of ready and waiting. So make sure to have that. All right. Rescue Cap is another pick I want to talk about because nobody's really looking at this card right now. It has a bunch of reprintings, but Rescue Cap's value has tanked. In fact, look at the past month, it's kind of been all over the place. It's still selling. Lasso was about 9 days ago for roughly around $69. The current value of this card is roughly around $64. The reason why I want to point this card out is because this card is, I think this card has so much potential, and Rescue Cat doesn't have any CR printings. Konami didn't really kill this card's value with a CR printing. It has a Dual Saga Ultra Rare. It has a bunch of other common printings for commoners. It has a Gold Rare printing for those who are suicidal. But overall, Rescue Cat is a great card. I do think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players can get a good value from it. I think Rescue Cat's a great card, just in general. And it's just the fact that it doesn't see play right now doesn't mean it's not going to see play moving forward. Then we have Sideblocker. This secret rare Starship Blasters have a bunch of reprintings, but the original print has slowly been going up in value while you've been asleep. Looking at the current value right now, Light Play First Edition is sold as low as $5, and then before then, 3 of them at $12. And then $8. Look at the current value of the card right now. It's roughly around $8 for a first edition secret rare. Now, myself personally, because I'm a bit of a nerd, I bought one of these in English and 3 in different languages because they're available on TCG Player, and they were dirt cheap. I'm just throwing it out there right now. I think Sideblock is a great card, just not good right now, but has potential to be good in the future of the game. Current value, the current effect of the card says, once per turn, you can declare one card name. Cards with that name and their effects cannot be used in any opponent's turn. This card basically comes out and says, hey, that card's banned until the end of your turn. Like, really good card. I think a lot of you can play sleeping on this card. I highly recommend you pick it up. Fossil Dino, I'm not even saying it yet, Say it right now, right, as you listen to it. Fossil Dino, the last word. Say that card name. Seriously. All right, ready? The name is Pachycephalo. I know. You're like, V, what the fuck? Dude, Konami just likes to mess with us sometimes. Fossil Pachycephalo, Fossil Pachycephalo, Fossil Pachycephalo. Say it 3 times. All right. This card, Light Destruction, is a good card. Recently sold about 3 days ago for roughly around $35. Looking over here for a first edition version, that's going to run you for around $60. Now, I don't know whether you should buy 2 or 3 of these. I personally own 2. I don't think you need 3. If you're running a deck that runs 3 of these, you're running a really weird D-Gen deck, and maybe you'll get a couple of wins, but I like 2 of these. These are really good also in Edison format. That's mainly why we saw the rise in value of this card. People play this card in Edison format all the time. I personally play 2 of these in my Sideblock, my Blackwing deck in Edison. Great card to play, and I think a lot of YuGiOh players might more likely want to play this card in Edison and maybe consider playing it in TCG. And if you are playing TCG, damn, you really hate your locals. All right, then we have some valuable cards. Now, I really haven't went over this point, but YuGiOh gets your points. Sometimes you hit a random thing and it brings you over here, and I don't know why, but it does it if you go on TCG Player. The TCG Player money glitch. I'll tell you right now, I have a really hot opinion on a bunch of these things in the money glitch, and I want to go over them real quickly. I know this video is going a little bit long. I know I talk really fast. Some people are like, V, you talk really fast. No, you just listen really slow, okay? Listen up. This right here is some weird stuff. The Masterpiece Series Platinum Blue Eyes Dragon originally came out for $1,000, and the current value is at $2,875. If you bought this, you would be up nearly 3 times your money. Theoretically, because after you sell this, it's not going to happen. It isn't 3,000, but once again, theoretically, you're up 3 times. Pretty cool. The issue with the Masterpiece Series Platinum Blue Eyes Dragon is it doesn't have any play in a game that requires you to have any kind of play, a trading card game. I would argue the Dark Duel Stories Blue Eyes Dragon has good value because it has good play. You can still play it. Hell, Blue Eyes Dragon fanboys, the biggest flex is a DDS Blue Eyes Dragon, where if you have the Masterpiece series, cool, put it on your wall. Oh, that's an art piece that's $3,000. Cool, I'm not into art, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, it's an art piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cool, I'm not into art, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh! That's why Konami had only one Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. I think it was in California, so nobody really cared about it because Konami loves, dude, they love smelling their farts in California. Like, Konami, we have more states. Travel the fucking earth. Like, at least the United States. But anyway, they had an event in California for art, and some Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, some YouTubers were like trying to pretend like bourgeois. They're like, oh, I really like that art piece, the art deco. Bro, just go get an anime wall scroll. It's like $20 fucking. Like, don't be an idiot. Spend a couple $100 because some artist that Konami said, okay, you can play on an umbrella, get to sell you some overpriced piece of artwork. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with these players, but some Yu-Gi-Oh! Players try to be bourgeois for zero fucking reason. And I think it's the same thing with the Masterpiece series. If you own this, sell it. Don't be like, oh yeah, no, it looks good in my bathroom. Why? Like, why? Every time you drop a load, you realize, paid $1,000 for that. It's worth about $3,000. The toilet paper you bought and you're using has more value, more usability than the goddamn thing hanging on your wall. Once again, go ahead and buy an anime or art scroll. I have a bunch. Those are the way to do it. They're really cool. This Platinum Series Blue Eyes Dragon, I'm not a big fan of it. All right, let's continue going. Sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. What do you think about sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Product? I hate it. There are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! players, well, not a lot, hold on a second. There are a few Yu-Gi-Oh! players who buy sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! product, wait in them, and like an egg, they will be able to sell that for more money to other players who like to own sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! product. The sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! market definitely has been growing. That is true. But holding sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! product is like getting a Christmas presents and just never opening them. And then not like next year, but like we're talking like 3, 4, 5 years later, maybe opening them. What are you doing, bro? Like, stop being a fucking weirdo. Some people like to hold sealed product. I have nothing against them. It's not my personal tea, but that's what they like to do. All right. Then we have these weird things, the Elementary Collections. Once again, it's all the same with the sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. 10,000 Dragons. Yu-Gi-Oh! players love this card. Like, yeah, I own a 10,000 Dragons. Yeah, but if you're not going to sell it or use it or play with it, what's the point? Konami's not making any support for 10,000 Dragons. The card was made as Konami's way of saying we printed out 10,000 card, which is great for Konami, but if I open one of these, I'd sell it. But if I sold it, I'd be wrong. I would be down $400 where it's currently valued at. The issue is, hold on, before I say anything, who is buying 10,000 Dragons? Is it selling a lot? Like a lot of sellers? I mean, it's not bad. It's like 2 a month, 3 a month, I would say on average. Someone's dropping $1,500 on 10,000 Dragons. Some suckers selling to. Listen, it's whatever. It's not, once again, I would have sold it for $1,000. I would have pulled it. It's 1,000. Give me 8. And I'm happy. I'm happy as hell. I don't like the card. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's a really nifty. It's in a 10,000 secret rare rarity. You know, Konami's going to find a way to reprint more cards in the future like that, because Konami has been going on a reprint craze with rarities they're making out their ass. So that's going to get reprinted eventually. Once again, I think the card's really cool, but I don't think it's worth its value. Misprint cards are really cool, but if you're not playing this card, it's once again serves no value. If you can play with a legal misprint, I think that's cool. If you have a misprint that you can't play with, to me, I don't care what card. I don't care if it's a misprint Appaloosa, sell it immediately. The starter rates hold good value, but once again, they're the newest game mechanic, so that's why they're up here. I'm shocked we don't see Stars Dragon up here. If we went by real value, like lightly played to near mid, I guarantee you we'd see Stars Dragon up next to Appaloosa and IP Masquerena, as well as Black Rose Dragon. So that's why I think we're going to see. Look at Max C. Oh my god, imagine not owning Max C Ultimate Rare when it was $250. When this card first got on the ban list, it was $50. I saw my playset. Felt like an idiot. Came back in, bought it for around $250 for Ultimate Rare Max Cs. This card is beautiful. And listen, you can say whatever you want to say about Max C. This card's damn near nice. Only this card, I think a lot of YuGiOh players are just waiting, preparing. And the craziest part about this is if you play in an older format, you can actually use this card. Then we have like World Championship cards. I mean, they're cool. If I was to win one, I would keep it and use it if it's usable. Camara, the Master of Beast, I would sell that card immediately because I don't see any play. But then again, once again, you gotta realize the kind of player I am. I'm a competitive collector, meaning if a card has play and it's competitive, like we'll say like Appaloosa, I'm gonna use my Appaloosa. Starlight Rare, IP Masquerena, I use my cards. And Starlight Rare Talents, I play with my deck all the time. I don't care. And the reason why is because I want to give use to things that are nice. That's the way I am as a competitive YuGiOh player. Some people are just collectors. Some people are just casual. Some people look at Appaloosa and go, gross, give me the gold rare. And as much as I make fun of gold rare YuGiOh players, I respect the player that is that kind of player. At one point in the game, I can only afford that. Or maybe they have money, but they just don't want to put that much money in this deck. They don't want to pay tithes to Konami. Once again, I don't blame them whatsoever. So I understand that. The United States Blues are hilarious. These things are worth nothing, realistically. It's Konami's way of showing unity. Let me just click on this real quick. This will be the last card we'll talk about. It's Konami's way to show unity in the YuGiOh trading card game by saying, hey, listen, even though we're locked down during the pandemic, which everyone's afraid to say pandemic because they don't want to get demonetized. The pandemic, we're still here together. YuGiOh. And then when the pandemic calmed down, they're like, all right, guys, we're going to have YuGiOh events. You can play in them. If you take the fucking vaccine, you better take that vaccine, or else United We Don't Stand. In fact, Konami, can I get a United We Don't Stand? I already sold my United We Stand blue. Can I get a red United We Don't Stand? Because that's how I feel, as well as a lot of YuGiOh players, with this fucking vaccine bullshit you're putting us through. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you own a United We Stand, and you're non-vax, so you can't go to YuGiOh events, sell that shit. Fuck that, dude. The card's garbage. The card does nothing, dude. It's he's playing in almost no YuGiOh format. Give me the red United We Don't Stand, Konami. Seriously, mail out to me. I should at least get that so I can go to a YCS. Comment down below if you don't want to unite. If you want to unite, We Don't Stand. We all deserve it. It's your boy V, and you guys all have a great day.